Hi, my name is Melissa Daniels and I have strabismus. I've actually had 4 surgeries to correct my eyes over my lifetime. 3 as a baby and 1 as an adult. And this video is going to be all about what to expect when you are getting a surgery for strabismus. Strabismus is an eye turn, so it's when your eyes aren't pointing in the same direction. So in strabismus surgery, they come in, they cut the muscles, and they adjust the eyes so that they are more straight. In this video, I am going to talk to you about 3 things that you should do to prepare for your strabismus surgery, and then I'm going to go through what to expect from the actual surgery. So the first thing you should do to prepare is ask your surgeon tons and tons of questions. Ask what to expect for recovery because that's going to change based on how many muscles they operate on. Ask if they're going to do adjustable sutures. Ask if you're going to get better vision from this. Ask if they're going to overcorrect. I have a whole video all about what questions to ask. I have an article on my website, strabismussolutions.com, that is all about questions to ask your surgeon. So ask lots of questions. That'll make you feel so much more comfortable, understand what their goals are, make sure it lines up with what you're hoping for. The second thing that you should do is to just be ready for like the physical aspect. So you need to have somebody to drive you there and back. You definitely aren't going to be able to drive. I think everyone knows that. Make sure you have some good ice packs. Ice to me was way better than any like medication. They gave me all these strong drugs and ibuprofen, and the best thing was ice packs on my face. The third thing that you should do is make sure that you've taken off enough time from work, or if you're a mom like me, I made sure I had someone to take care of my kids for those first few days. It's going to depend. The more muscles they operate on, the longer the recovery is going to be. So my ophthalmologist operated on 4 eye muscles, so the inside and outside on both eyes. And after about 5 or 6 days, I was kind of almost back to normal. I was still definitely like taking a nap and needing to close my eyes, but I could like get up and take care of things. And I was driving after about 2 weeks. I would say that if you work with computers and you're looking at screens a lot, you're not going to be able to be working full time for a couple weeks. All right, next let's talk about what to actually expect with the surgery. So strabismus surgery is usually just a day surgery. So you're not going to stay overnight at the hospital at all. You're going to go in first thing in the morning. Definitely need to have an empty stomach. I did it at a surgery center because it's way cheaper than a hospital and it's way easier. So you just go into the waiting room, they take you back, you talk to the ophthalmologist, you talk to the anesthesiologist who's going to be putting you under, and you talk to the nurse, and they ask you basically all the same questions. Did you eat anything? Do you have any problems with, anesthesia? All these different questions. And then they take you back to the operating room. And I was really worried about getting the IV. I don't know if anyone else freaks out about that part, but for me, it was not a big deal. The anesthesiologist just did it, which is amazing because then you don't feel anything. And they say goodbye to you. You count down from 5 and only get to 3, and then you're completely out. So a lot of people wonder if you're awake for the surgery, and you are not. You're definitely out the whole time. My surgery took just over an hour, and that was for 4 muscles, and that's going to be less for less muscles. Also, I had a lot of scar tissue. That increases the amount of time as well. When you wake up, I felt like I was a newborn baby. Here is some footage of me trying to wake up from my anesthesia. And for me, it took a really long time to wake up from the anesthesia. So my surgeon was already gone by the time I woke up. So he talked to my husband and talked to him about how the surgery went. And then we just left. As soon as I was awake, they wheeled me out the front door and sent me on my way. So it was a really quick procedure. I was only at the hospital for a few hours, or the surgery center. And then we had to drive like 3 hours home. So that was kind of interesting. I was still a little bit loopy. So my depth perception and just my vision in general was kind of messed up. I was definitely like, I would open my eyes and I'd be like, oh, and I'd feel nauseous and a little bit dizzy. Right after surgery, my eyes actually looked pretty good. They looked pretty straight, especially compared to how they were before before surgery. But as the day progressed, the eye started turning in more and more. Like the more my eyes were open, I just kept turning the eye in, and that was really a struggle. This video, you can see that when I looked close, my eyes were pretty straight, but as soon as I moved the phone back and I was looking far away, then my eyes started to cross in. There's started adding to the the recovery of like the pain that I was feeling, to add on the part that it didn't work very well. So this is definitely something that you have to plan for, is to know that it's going to be a struggle. And another thing to think about is if your eyes go like this and the surgeon corrects them to go like this, it's going to look really weird to you. Even if they make your eyes perfectly straight, you're going to feel like they are crossed in. Or if your eyes cross in and they move them out, even if they're pretty straight, it's going to look really weird and you're going to be freaking out like, do my eyes look crazy? And just know that your brain has been looking at yourself in the mirror for so long with your eyes a certain way, and making that adjustment it's going to take some like time for your brain to adjust to the way that they actually look. So don't freak out from the beginning. Just like take a deep breath and try to relax, because I think if you're trying to force your eyes and you're really tense, it's going to just make it worse. I don't know if that's science, but just it's going to take time. Your eyes are going to adjust over the course of the first like 6 weeks after your surgery. And so don't freak out. It's going to be okay. Okay? You're going to be okay? That's definitely was the hardest part. The recovery part, I guess my eyes looked disgusting. They were so red and goopy and gross, and I was cleaning them out like I would get a clean washcloth every time, clean them out with hot water. You know, the yellow goop is coming out and they hurt to look to the sides, and I just wanted to keep my eyes closed with ice on them. And as long as the ice was on them, I had almost no pain. But the emotional part was the hard part. I will say that. I could do the pain again and again, but worrying that I'd made a big mistake, that my surgery didn't work, that was really hard for me. I have a whole video all about the entire recovery. I have an article on my website, strabismussolutions.com/recovery. I think. If it's not, I'll put the right one down below. But you can read like details from every single day, like what symptoms I was having, when the redness went away, double vision, all of that. So I'll just give like the very short 1-minute version here. For the first few days, it was really bad. I hardly walk straight. I was very dizzy, very disoriented. My eye turned in really far, and my brain was just thrown for a loop. I went from 35 diopters out to 25 diopters in. And so my brain was having a really hard time making sense of how the world looked. I tried to like walk with just my bad eye, and I couldn't walk in a straight line. I was falling all over the place. The double vision, I was having tons of double vision. It wasn't just like I was looking at my finger and there were 2 fingers. It was like 2 full rooms. I ended up getting adjustable sutures, which I mean, that happened during the original surgery. He put in adjustable sutures, and then I went back in a week later and he adjusted it. It's actually 5 days later, and made it so my eyes were much more straight afterwards. And so that helped a ton with the dizziness and the nausea and the double vision. But that 5 days in between was pretty rough. It still adjusted even after the sutures. My eyes still drifted back out, which was really great. That is pretty much everything you need to know about having strabismus surgery. It's not a big deal physically. Yes, you're going to need to take time off work, of course. Your eyes are going to be sore. But with some ice and some ibuprofen, you're going to be totally fine. Sleep for a couple days and it's going to be over. Prepare emotionally. It can be really discouraging, but it's going to be okay. It's all going to work out how it's supposed to. If you have any more questions, you can leave them in the comments. You can go to my website. You can even schedule a consult with me and we can talk one-on-one over Zoom. We can discuss all of this. If you've had a surgery that didn't work out and you're freaking out, sign up and we can talk about it and I can help you through it because I've been there and I know how hard it is. But it all works out in the end how it's supposed to. So have a fabulous day. Good luck with your strabismus surgery and your decision on whether or not to get it. It definitely helped me. I combined it with vision therapy because I wanted 3D. And so I did both because I wanted my eyes to work together. And that has helped so much in the recovery and helping my eyes stay straight. So definitely recommend that. And I'm going to sign off. So have a fabulous day.